Double jeopardy is an often misunderstood legal concept. And in fact, there are 5 key situations where double jeopardy does not apply. And I'm going to talk about them. The first is criminal and civil proceedings arising out of the same conduct. So, for example, you may be prosecuted for a crime and you may be acquitted and found not guilty in court. But the victim or victims in the case can still sue you in civil court. And the most famous example of this was the O.J. Simpson trial, where O.J. was tried and acquitted in criminal court, but the victims later sued him successfully for millions of dollars for wrongful death in civil court. Double jeopardy did not apply because it was a criminal and a civil case. The second key situation where double jeopardy does not apply is to DMV administrative hearings. So this is very common in a DUI case. You may go to trial for your DUI and the jury finds you not guilty, but many times the DMV can still take an action against you and suspend your license because the DMV is an administrative and not a criminal proceeding. A third situation where double jeopardy does not apply is to pretrial proceedings. Any proceedings that happen before the trial actually starts. So, for example, a preliminary hearing. You may win your preliminary hearing and the judge does not hold you to answer and the case is dismissed. The prosecutor can still refile the case because double jeopardy does not apply to pretrial proceedings. A fourth situation where double jeopardy does not apply is to state and federal proceedings directed towards the same conduct. So you may win your trial in state court, but the feds can come later and prosecute you for federal charges in federal court. And a famous example of this was in the Rodney King beating case, where the police officers were acquitted of assault with a deadly weapon in state court in Simi Valley, but the Department of Justice later came in and prosecuted the police officers for civil rights violations arising out of the same conduct in federal court, and the police officers were not protected by double jeopardy because the second prosecution was federal and not state. The fifth key situation where double jeopardy does not apply is in the case of hung juries. So if you go to trial and the jury deadlocks, are not able to reach a verdict, the judge can declare mistrial based on legal necessity, and you can be retried on the same charges. There's other situations where double jeopardy does not apply, but these are the 5 most common circumstances where a lot of people think double jeopardy would protect them, but in reality, double jeopardy does not apply.